Hello, everybody, and very warm welcome to another exciting episode of Ask the Accountant, episode 190. 10 left to go till the big 200. The date is the 22nd of June, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Sam Patrick, and with me, as always, is Mr. Johann Gory. Before we go into that, we start each and every episode thanking our podcast and Patreon community, which remembers going on pause. We're going a little hiatus soon, but the people that have shown the most support are our top tier, our coolest of cool listeners, who are Paul Whitehouse, Curtis St. John, Mahu, and Peter Richardson. Thank you so much for your support for our channel and content. While they also get the top tier shout out, you could also join when the Patreon comes back live in there as well. All the bits and everything are in our down below in our link tree. Mr. Johann Gory, how was the week for you? For me, it's been a very busy week. What's your week been like?
It's been a long week. It was a 6-day week in the end. So Manchester for Fusion, which we'll talk about later. Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I was at home. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was in Richmond speaking. So yeah, it was a long, busy week, but very good one. Like lots of really good conversations. Like out the back of the speaking days, I had 4 or 5 new inquiries come off that. So yeah, nice. Marketing going well. So yeah, plus yeah, we've taken on a new marketing manager for the accounting group. Lots and lots going on, lots of plates spinning, but all good. How's it going at your end?
Well, haven't you also got a new toy?
I have got a new toy, yes. I've got the hang on. For those that follow my vlog, they'll know about this already, but Aaron didn't know about this and had arrived, so Aaron's not been keeping up to date with my vlog. But yeah, so I've got the new Insta 360. This is not going well, is it? Basically, I'm replacing the DJI Pocket 3 with the Insta 360 Luna, which, yeah, it's an upgrade. It's gone from 4K to 8K and stuff like that. So yeah, very good bit of kit. It's yeah, I just need to get used to its quirks. Like normally, if I just flip the screen, it turns off, but apparently not today. So, but yeah, so yeah, very very good bit of kit. Always enjoy playing with new tools. So yeah, I would recommend it. I mean, the best part is the microphone that's got an e-ink display. So I've put the On Point logo on there, which is pretty cool. I like that. And you can swap them in and out. So like if I was filming Ask the Accountant stuff, I could have the Ask the Accountant logo or the Grid Walk logo or Podcast Pit Stop logo on there. So yeah, very, very cool bit of kit. Very much enjoying playing with that, making life a little bit easier for myself.
I am very tempted. Like we were talking off there, there's a key feature that will come with firmware, no doubt, which is the webcam feature. When that comes in, absolute instant buy. Like that is the one for me. I can actually replace quite a chunky bit of kit I have to take around with me at the moment. But until then, I'm kind of like, yeah, kind of a bit waiting in the wings really for that to come through, only because I've kind of learned over time to just buy the gear and the kit not on a promise, because I know it will come, but when, how long, will it be buggy on arrival, that sort of stuff. That's what kind of me back, doesn't it? So awesome. Yeah, my week, whoa, what a week. We'll talk about the big part of it, which was the Sage element, and we'll talk about the Fusion part as well.
I'm excited to hear about Sage's accounting council, because I've done a few accounting councils in the time, and we've always questioned, is this as good as it could be? It feels like it's missing something. It feels a bit fake and ingenuine, whereas from what you've kind of highlighted to me and you've shown in the face on your video content, it looks like it was a very worthwhile trip.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, really, really good. And we'll get into the weeds a bit, but it's just been a busy week, a busy couple of weeks. And there's just so much going on, so many plate spin at the moment. So much like, and it's all positive. So, you know, champagne problems and all that issues, but it's a lot. There's a lot going on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've got a couple of days off in a couple of weeks' time because of Silverstone Grand Prix. And that can't come soon enough, I tell you that for a fact. We wouldn't be anywhere without our amazing community. We have joining us today in the comments. Number one, first person to arrive, first person to sign themselves in. St. John. Good morning, everyone. Sunny in March, Cambridgeshire. Wishing a gentle, cool breeze to us all. Yeah, at the moment I'm overcast here in Leeds. What about you, Jan?
I'm very overcast, and there's actually an inversion on the River Forth. So there's a load of cloud around there. So if it burns off, I think I'm in for trouble, but it is overcast here. My concern is I'm in Stratford-upon-Avon Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's a little bit too close to the heat centre based on the temperature maps for my liking.
Yeah,
I might be inside hugging an air conditioning machine all week.
We're in Leeds all week, so yeah, we brought the fan with us, put it that way. Yeah, got a really nice fan actually, a shark fan that's a little water thing on if you want to, and it just missed the air. Yeah, so very nice. Paul Ingram's next, says good morning everyone. Good morning to you, Paul. Cheryl says good morning from a very hot South Yorkshire. So surely if you're, what am I classed as then? Am I like mid Yorkshire? Is that how it works with Leeds? Someone will have to tell me whereabouts mine is. But I'm overcast.
Problem is there'll be a hill. There'll be a hill between you and Cheryl, and the nice weather is stuck on the other side of the hill.
That's it. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm loving this overcast because it's keeping the temperatures nice and manageable. Juliet McKenna says morning. Good morning to you. Paul Whitehouse says good morning. Good morning to you, Paul. Suzanne Whelan says morning. Good morning to you, Susanna. Hope you are doing well. Susanna Sisu bookkeeping says morning, everyone. Good morning to you. DGI Pocket Free. I wonder if that's a
spelled wrong.
Is that a knockoff?
No, it's
DJI Pocket Free.
On my vlogs, I'm doing a competition at the moment where if someone comments DJI Pocket Free in the comments of any videos where I mention that I'm giving away my DJI Pocket Free. So my thought was, look, if I get this new camera, the old one will just sit in its case, gathering dust. So I thought rather than that, I'll give it away to whoever. I'll do a little raffle. So anyone that enters there, puts a comments in a vlog video saying DJI Pocket Free, they will then get entered into the draw for a chance to win the creator bundle that I've got for the DJI Pocket Free. So they can start vlogging, they can start creating a bit of video content for their business.
Love that. Great piece of kit as well. Absolutely great piece of kit. So yeah, go for it. Stephanie Marsh says, good morning, gents, with her 0 heart. Morning all to more to bookkeeping. Lisa Mulholland says, good morning to you too. Is it Jason Mathon? Morning. Sorry, I butchered your name, but good morning to you too, sir. Hope you're doing well. Godzilla fan says hi. Good morning to you. Marcus Bastion, morning, gents. Looks like you're in Johann's office, and congratulations on the news, Marcus. I won't say anything more than that in case it's kind of a little bit like everything else. But go and look at his LinkedIn post. I believe I'm not NDA'd anything ever, but I'm not going to say anything more. So yeah,
it's on LinkedIn, so it can't be that secret.
I wonder if it was like one of those where you put, when you meant so schedule as and you've pressed post instead, and we're now just like thinking. But yeah, congratulations either way, and hopefully, people can see it sooner rather than later. Morning all, says Natasha. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Speaking of Sage Office, it's both Natasha and Kirsty. They love the Sage Offices with the cool events from below. Like, that's the future, isn't it? All the air comes up from below. I was loving it. Cheryl says West Yorkshire. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, West Yorkshire. I'm going to have to get my geography skills in this Yorkshire area down to a T. And Susanna says West Yorkshire. Thank you very much. Exotic Gamers says hi. Good morning to you too, sir. So what a week. What a week it has been. Let's start off with let's start off with Sage. Let's go straight into it. Let's go for what it was. The idea was that it was an accounting council event. And I remember when I was first invited, I was like, obviously I'm interested. So this was from Chris Downing. I was obviously interested, but I was like, Do remember my my personal persona though, QuickBooks, is this really one? But full fairness to both Chris and to Jason Hodder, that like they really thought about what accounting councils should be, and it shouldn't just be the best, the most influential, if you like, or kind of people who use the product the most, as in Sage products the most. They wanted to see it from the other side as well. So, they were quite interested, maybe a Xero fan being there, and a free agent fan, and a QuickBooks fan, just to give that bit of opportunity, just to see what the competition might be doing a bit differently, to kind of look into it a little bit more and understand a little bit more. So that was really cool. And the event itself, I generally think they were some of the most inspiring and as in talking to the rest of the group, like the rest of the council, like inspiring, and they've got some really good ideas between them. They've got some really quirky ways of working between them that you can kind of talk about. And it was just a really, really like good group of people to be with. Like it was just, I came away from there. So there was a couple of really cool sessions in it. So you got your typical like the future of the industry and all that sort of thing. We had a debate and a talk and all about that. And then the roadmap for Sage, spot on. Love that. Like, what they're doing with embedded service and stuff looks absolutely wicked. And then there was that, opportunity to talk about other things. And Tim had an opportunity to talk about his current vibe coding and what he's been doing and what he's been building, and he was showing it on screen, and we got to kind of see what he built and how he built it and how it's changed and what is what new service lines he's generated because of it and all that sort of stuff. Like absolutely amazing. But my like piece of resistance was that after that we were all put into little mini groups. We went off into some of the like back rooms, and it was us, a developer, a screen, and a pain point, and we created a solution for it using Lovable, Claude, all those tools as well. And it was like, we were like, well, because ours was bank reconciliation. How do you fix banks reconciliation, right? Number one, Sage has bank reconciliation, which is good. Some competitors don't. So, there's always that bit. But it's how do we make that process better? Like what can we do to solve those pain points, make it easier? How do we get the information off the client easier and all that sort of stuff? And we were literally building in real time a solution. And maybe that will never go anywhere, but they've had that experience to work with accountants and bookkeepers to understand the pain points, right? To see the pain points and see in our eyes how we're, almost crying at the fact that we're struggling to do this or we're struggling to do that, right? And the fact they could build it there and then, and they were able to end that like session of going, well, here's something we built together. They can take it away to their, to who needs to make these decisions. But it's not just based on a theory or I think it's like a fixed or a solution ready to rock and roll. And they can kind of then decide if it's going to, how much investment's needed, all that sort of stuff that, happens behind the scenes and everything else. But it was coming from a place where they'd already tackled most of the issues and it was built by the user and going through from there. Absolutely love that bit. I mean, the fact that we felt like we were involved, we felt like we were like, working with them and everything else. Absolutely loved it. So shout out to Sage, shout out to Chris, out to Jason, all that group, everyone involved with it. It was a really, really, really impactful day. In fact, it was so like inspiring that on the train home, I finally, after it's been on my to-do list for 6 months or so, I built and I'm deploying today our work papers for the whole of the group, right? Like I sat there using the same tools, the same methodology and all that sort of stuff. And I built it on the train journey back. Bit of a side story that, but just so we recognize it, that train journey. So I took a photo of me like vibe coding on the train sort of thing. That photo was an hour before on the same train track as that accident.
Oof.
And I was on an open return and I'd purposely missed the first one because I knew that was going to be like really, really busy. And I was sat in a cafe starting this project and I was losing track of time and all sorts. I'd missed one and missed another one. and I was going to miss the one I was on. It was only by chance. I was like, oh, and ran to go and get the train. I could have been, could have been on that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, really, really rough. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, people affected by that aren't thinking. But that was a what do you call it? Like thingy moment to see that accident happen.
It's when you stop and pause and think.
Yeah. Because first class as well. That's the front. Like that was the bit that got affected. So yeah. Yeah. Shout out to hopefully everyone affected. Okay, and everything else. But yeah, it was what an event. What an absolute like inspiring event. The fact that people are literally going away and making fundamental changes to their practice, like that's what these accounting councils should be, right? Yes, we get to provide our, like they always say, don't they, like feedback's a gift. So let's give opportunity to feedback, and fully confident Sage is going to take that feedback from everyone in the room and they're going to act on it, and the product's going to get better because of it, right? The service is going to get better, so on and so forth. But for them to even give back to us and like inspire us to go out there and make changes in our practice and adjust and everything else, I've not had that part of an accounting council before. It's been very much a, in the nice part, a one-way street. This felt like a two-way street, right? This was everyone was giving, everyone was like using this as an opportunity, and yeah, honestly, really, really, really good, really, really inspiring going forward. So yeah, highly recommend if you ever get an opportunity to do a Sage accounting council, make sure you say yes to it.
I think it's interesting that they invited people that weren't Sage users for the right reason. We've been in accounting council where non-software users of that software have been brought in purely as a charm offensive and a sales pitch to try and woo them.
Yeah.
At which point the rest of the council feels a bit used and abused. And then often that council was already walking away with like, this is a false pretense of pretending to listen to feedback and you're not doing anything with it. And have you even got the authority to do anything with this feedback because it's a big organization type thing? So yeah, it's good to hear that Sage I can't say I'm surprised. Sage have been doing this long enough to know how to run an accounting council that takes feedback on and actions it. So yeah, no, it's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely top tier. I hope the rest of the industry takes note. Like you said, I hope this is like a start of how accounting councils can be run and going from there, because there's danger that they come a little bit extinct if we're not careful. And that's the problem, right? Like, I thought that the accounting council I was on before were quite meaningful and quite, like important and everything else. But they're only as important if there's actions are taken from that and then worked on. Like without that feedback loop, there's no benefit to them. And in fairness, on the ones I've done, they have been held accountable, and sometimes it's taken longer than others, but we have seen progress and everything else. So thumbs up for that. But I think the other thing is, at the end of that accounting council, you kind of have to start thinking about the next one. Like you've got to go, because that's how you keep yourself accountable for. And in a lot of the ones I've been doing, and it's various different brands, so it's not like I'm not attacking one or the other, but there's no kind of like consistency. There's no, right, this is the date we're going for the next one. This is when we're bringing it back in, and then that puts clarity there, right? Okay, so if I've got issue X, Y, Z, I can hold on to that because we've got an accounting council in 2 months' time or a month's time, whatever it's going to be, right? Or whatever that conversation needs to be. When there's no kind of date of the next one's going to be now, or in some circumstances, is it even going to happen? Is that, when there's kind of uncertainty of if that's something that's even going to happen going forward? I think that's really damaging to the whole point of an accounting council, right?
Yeah. And what was interesting was all the posts that I saw from it were about the value, etc. Whereas other accounting councils you see were more about the swag and the freebies and the entertainment. And it's like, hang on, when you then look back at it, and because I've been caught in this trap before where I've gone, look at this swag, how cool is this for turning up to this meeting? But when I look back at it and go, actually, was I duped? Actually, was it, here's a load of swanky swag that no one else is going to get hold of. and you're going to post it on LinkedIn and social media, so we get social traffic, knowing that we've got this council. But actually, when you dig into it, how effective were those councils? How much feedback was taken on board and actioned and stuff? So the fact that every post I saw about Sages, and to be fair, it's the same as Zero's accounting councils. The posts I see about them are about the networking with the people in the room. It's about the appreciation of being asked for your feedback and the confidence that feedback's going to be taken. So yeah, some softwares out there can certainly learn from from Sage on how to run an accounting council and the genuine benefits of it, not for the social media hype and attempt to cross-sell to firms that aren't using your software.
Yeah. I think we got different algorithms coming, because that's definitely not the feedback I got from the Zero accounting council. But
okay,
hey, some people are gonna see different ones, right? So yeah. Quickly go back to community. What's the purpose of these live streams? Make sure the accounting industry is going in the right direction. Give us our two pence thoughts on that. Nick Moss says the power out. That's the power out, baby. Oh, honestly, I mean, we're already running out of time, right? But the Fusion event, highlight the Fusion event, we're seeing the power hour, like seeing you three absolutely like showing how to. It's a similar concept, right? It's what do you do with feedback? How do you thing. And one of the feedback people always get is, I don't know how to do X, Y, Z, or I'm struggling to find efficiencies and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance, do go watch Power Hour. And if you get a chance, go watch it live. Whatever the next event is, I'm sure.
Edinburgh in September.
Nice. Oh, definitely go to that one.
I'm going to go and check out the location next on Friday. Is it Friday this week? Yeah, Friday this week. I'm going to check out the location. Once it's official, I'll tell everyone what the location is, but I'm very excited by this location.
And you most of you will be doing the train, right? So just off the train is a place called the Geek Cocktail Geeks. What a place to go and have a couple of drinks afterwards or before.
They've had to do an emergency change. They got sued.
Oh,
Speaking of people getting sued, turned out they infringed on all sorts of trade rights and copyrights for Lord of the Rings.
Really? I would never have known that.
Yeah, they had to do an early swap of branding because they had all sorts of problems.
Oh, I'll have to get more detail on that sooner rather than later. Sue Green says, "Oh, I'm really late today. Good morning from sunny hit Tamworth. Good morning to you." So don't worry about it. We mark these down, and it's only in your appraisal that you get actually told off for it. Don't you worry about it. Hopefully it's okay after we've fed back to him. I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure they absolutely get from there. Need a bookkeepers council too, not just accounting. In fact, there was bookkeepers there. A couple of really high-profile ICB members were there. I know the names are a bit what do you call it, but they definitely do bring. We
just need to rename it, don't we, to In Practice Council or something like that.
Practice Council, yeah. So marketing can do some work on that one. Still chasing my QB Council invite. I'm sure. Wow,
I don't know.
Yeah. The future of that council is up in the air. Let's put it that way. Morning all, says Greg. Good morning to you too, sir. Hope you're doing well. Talking of swag, got my first 500 gift box from QB on Friday. Yeah, it was a very nice swag box. If you hadn't seen it, it was a water bottle and a blanket. So yeah, hopefully people who achieved their research got that through. Yeah, the flask is definitely going to get a lot of use this week. And Clive is here as well. Good morning, Clive. Good morning, lads. Arriving late, no problem at all. All right, payroll benefit in kind news dropped on us as well, didn't it? Also, just a big shout out to Stu over at Free Agent. He's just had his Just One More Click episode, which is from the Accounting Therapy group. Definitely go and have a listen. I've not been able to listen to it all yet, but do go and have a listen to that one. But he's become a bit of a news hound at the moment. After every time we record one of these, gives Stu an hour, maybe 2 hours later, and he'll post something that we probably should have covered on the news thing. But yeah, mandatory payrolling of benefit in kind will now be delivered in phases, which is actually really, really good news. Honestly,
does it not just add more complication and more confusion?
Completely agree. Like, let's get most of that on there, but it's the directors' loans bit that I'm still to this day can't understand how we're going to implement properly, right? So let's make our time go from there. From April 2027, phase 1 will mandate payrolling for company cars, car fuels, van fuel, and private medical benefits. So they will all have to go through payroll, not on a P11D, on a monthly basis. And then from April 2028, phase 2 will mandate payrolling for most other benefits, excluding loans and accommodation. Now, I don't know if that's forever, because my question is, if we're getting rid of P11Ds, how do we account for them going forward? Question mark. If anyone knows, do let us know. HMRC says this phased approach is designed to give software developers, employers, payroll providers, and agents more time to prepare and adapt. Blah 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 blah. Look, we've said this many a time on this show that payroll is in the problem we've got, and the reason we're struggling to find payroll solution that's really like absolutely innovating on a regular basis is because they're just inundated by compliance, right? Like, compliance is completely and utterly forefront of what they're having to do, and this does help. I think it does leave a few question marks.
Does it though? I don't think it does help software vendors, because software vendors have been built this ages ago. Put it on the shelf, put it on the shelf, put it on the shelf, because it kept getting postponed. Now they're going to have to go back to what they built, unpick it, and separate it out again. So actually, this doesn't help. This is counterproductive for software vendors.
But I think it gets the majority of the benefit of the P11D. If I look at our P11Ds that we have to do, crikey, there's a deadline looming for that, isn't there? Isn't it? We got like X amount of days left. If I think about benefit our P11Ds at the moment, which ones we've got to account for and everything else, private medical and the cars are well over 90% of them, right? Yeah. Probably more. The only other thing that we really ever have to deal with is the odd director's loan overdrawn. That's literally the only ones that we have to worry about. I just feel like if we can get those two elegantly into it and elegantly working, I think that will help everyone. I think that will be a benefit to the whole industry in terms of let's real time work with the benefits and everything else. Let's make sure it's working. But software, this has to be software led. We need software to help us. It can't be just a case of them providing us a little box to say how much, what is the value. We need them to give us an elegant way to come to the value and make sure the value is correct. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. And in an ideal world, almost self-service for the employee, right? Like, let them, say when they took the car, or let it at least link. Do you know what I mean? Like, those are sort of things that P11Ds at the moment we're struggling with, is gathering the data in an elegant way. Like, what car was it? When did you have access to it? How long have you had access to it for? All that sort of stuff. And there has to be a better way of dealing with that. It's just, as we always keep coming back to, like, the payroll teams, payroll solutions haven't yet had that opportunity to shine and build something elegant or build something differently, because they're constantly chasing their tails. And I do think whichever solution out there can nail this elegantly has a real good chance to win some market share here, because I'm open, right? If you can find me a payroll provider that can make P11Ds elegant, I'm interested. Like, talk to me. I am ready to. My team won't like this because they've only just moved for software provider, but I'm ready to move software provider. Right? Like, let's do that. Let's lead with efficiencies and elegance in that world of it, and then I think everything else can follow from there. So, 100%. I'm glad that they're doing the phases, because it gives chance to kind of like prioritize, and hopefully that's what this is. This is like, it's not just let's get all the P11D done and let's just give a tick box and everything else. Let's prioritize on those ones that are the problem child, and let's hopefully find a solution that's going to be better for everyone. What's your thoughts on it, Jan?
I'm just fed up with the moving goalposts. Like we HMRC and Companies House need to stick with what they're planning and actually deliver on it. But B, we as an industry also need to get on with it and stop asking for them to move goalposts. Like ultimately, if these things are being legislated, the bit that's actually giving the industry the more headaches is the fact that we're going to our clients saying, this is coming. And then goalposts are moved. And, oh, actually, guys, you know, all that thing that we spoke about and we spent a long time chatting to everybody about, it's postponed for a year. And then you're going like, well, that means we're going to have to have this conversation in a year's time. It's so inefficient. I think as an industry, we just need to crack on. If something's put in place, we need to just put our big boy and girl pants on and get on with it. Rather than pressurizing HMRC and Companies House to change rules and stuff. Yes, things need to be done, need to be questioned. Yes, but that's what consultations are there for. It's this constant stopping and starting and pulling things on and off that we need to stop messing about with, because it's a complete waste of time. Like I'm sat there going through, last week I went through on the train whilst you were doing your vibe coding. I was on the train using Claude to analyze 16,000 time logs from the last year for my firm that I pulled out as a CSV from Engager.
Yeah.
Where are we spending all of our time and stuff? And yes, we've got huge opportunities to go, actually, let's get auto reconciliation turned on in Xero. Let's do this, let's do that. I said to Mandy, when we go to XeroCon, here are the top pain points we're looking for solutions to solve. But actually, one of the biggest time-consuming parts in my time and my ops manager's time and my client manager's time is discussing and training for things that then never happen. So, yeah, we just need to stop messing about. It's such a waste of time, such a waste of resources. It's damaging to our profits as a business. If something needs to come in, let's get on with it.
I think the only thing I would defend on this one is, unlike Making Tax Digital and some of the other big changes we've had to deal with recently, right? There's been no choice. Well, unless you decided to go on a beta program. But beta is always scary, right? So you're only going to put a certain client base on beta. You're not going to mandate a lot of your clients onto beta. It feels irresponsible, right? But putting a couple on there is everything else. In this one, you can do payroll benefit today if you want to, right? There's nothing stopping you. There's no it's just that date is mandating you to have to payroll benefit going forward, right? So you could do it today, and the reason we don't do it today is because of the extra work and extra issue and extra everything else. So if we had maintained that original trajectory, and
also not all softwares have launched. Most softwares haven't launched this yet because they don't know what the final form looks like.
No, but you can do it today. It's not even a form or not form and everything else. You can do it today if you wanted to, right? Like, software is just not giving us an elegant way of doing it. It would take you a considerable amount more work to do it now, but you could do it today if you wanted to. You could put it directly in. You could almost manually push it through the payroll and give it. I think all payrolls give you maybe a little box to fill in if you wanted to, and you could kind of fill it in from there if you wanted to. But what I'm saying is you could do it that way. There's nothing stopping you, but it'd be a very manual and painful process. Yeah. Whereas delaying it in this one, hopefully, and I'm kind of giving a big, rose tinted glasses approach and being super positive and everything else, but hopefully that gives opportunities for those softwares to go, right, now there's a date and it's only for that bit. Let's build a solution that's going to solve those pain points. Like that's what we've got to hopefully comes out of this. Because those clients you've had those conversations with, if they were getting a little bit annoyed and frustrated and everything, you could do it now, but it'd be a very manual process and probably end up, either you having to charge more to the client or you have to absorb the work, whichever conversation you're going to have.
once the software's launched their solutions, that will be less manual and less effort. But the
If there
softwares
isn't
can't launch solutions and be proactive because they don't know what the final bloody thing looks like yet. Because they keep changing the goalposts.
The final thing is already now. Like the final bit is now, right? There's just been no incentive to make that elegant, right? Like you could just do it all through payroll now. That was that option.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is we can do it now, but it's manual, right?
Yeah.
But softwares could give us a very elegant solution, but they're not prepared to launch anything yet because HMRC keeps changing the goalposts.
Agreed, but if they had launched it the date that it was supposed to be, which was supposed to be, was it the start of this year? Wasn't it actually? Was the start of this tax year? We'd be in even more trouble, wouldn't we?
Well, we don't know because we don't know what's sat on the shelves that was waiting and then got postponed launch.
They could launch that now. Like there's nothing. If software had that ability to bring that could be launched now, because the process of recording it you could do through payroll now. You don't have to, one or the other. You could do it through there. It's just that, especially in our world, like the software we use, it was never made as like a priority or anything, or put in from there. So it could. I don't think there's any benefit in software sitting on this. If this was available, and it was something that they would release it and shout about it, because that'd be a really good optics for them, and that'd be a really good thing for them. The thing is that there's too much pressure on the moment, as we keep saying, for them to develop something like this because they're always focused on compliance, right? So I can't see this as one where HMRC's delaying or anything else stopped progression. Maybe it's not fourth hand.
If HMRC haven't opened up the APIs yet, that'll be why there's a delay from software vendors.
But there is no APIs as such, is it? Because it's just an RTI. That's all it is. It's just part of the RTI submission.
As long as HMRC's RTI submissions can actually handle this bit of new information.
Yeah,
they weren't built for originally.
Because you can't, like, you could choose not to, like, you could choose to put it through payroll now if you wanted to. Like, it's all there. It's been there for a while, but this is just mandating it, isn't it? It's trying to eliminate the extra work of having to do a P11D. That's the whole point of this, isn't it? Because P11Ds are the reason that payment accounts take so long to come into account. They're the reason that we have to wait for information to be pre-populated into our tax returns. That fetch feature.
Yeah, the fetch feature.
Yeah, it's P11Ds that's causing the problem, right? Because we've got that delay to get free and all that sort of stuff. So the end goal, fully on board with that. Let's get rid of that like arbitrary timing issue that we've kind of created ourselves. Let's bring it all into play. But I do feel like this is something that software's just not had that had the chance to really wow us at, right?
Yeah. Lots of comments in the community.
Yeah, go for this. Count February, hello. Stu, always breaking the news before the PB. Yeah, well, exactly. He's become our news hound now. We should actually officially title him that as the Ask the Accountant's news hound. Benefit Hound is done live in payroll sub. And submissions in Ireland. So they've been doing it for a while, haven't they? And again, you could do it in the UK at the moment. It's just to mess with it. Might as well just do it all in the payroll software by April 2027. But then isn't that the issue there, Nick, where we're just going to get like a generic one? And again, I know I'm being really rose tinted glasses here, but the idea here is because they can focus on the payroll and the medical, which are the two kind of most like popular ones. If they can focus on that and they can make a really elegant solution for that, the rest of it will be really easy to do. Talking of news miss, so glad Companies House are back up and running. They are still processing returns and updates from the last few weeks, but at least now we can incorporate new companies. Yeah, it's an absolute mess, wasn't it? I think it went from us kind of thinking, there's no issue here, to, it caused major issues. We had a couple of like really, really problematic clients, submissions that couldn't go through. So thank God it's all kind of up and running. If HMRC aren't ready to roll out all the systems, they shouldn't roll it out piecemeal. It's going to be carnage. I agreed, but again, this isn't. And someone from payroll like back me up or tell me here, but this isn't rolling out or not rolling out. This is the mandation of how that's supposed to be. Because at the moment you have a choice: P11D versus
A
payroll
choice
benefit.
that no one's taking, though.
Yeah, 100. I think the bigger boys are, aren't they? Like big companies can do it. But yeah. Morning, by the way, gents. Good morning to you too. Agree, Joanne. Yep. And Paul Weiser says they need to move PAYE and RTI to full MTD APIs, so these changes are less complicated for software providers. I mean, I fully agree on that one. It's mad, isn't it? RTI, like real-time information, was such a big push and big thing.
Well, that was the new thing, wasn't it? That was
I
mean, that's basically what MTD has become. MTD, it was RTIs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's face it. If they got PAYE onto MTD APIs, then we wouldn't be having articles like the screen sharing article to talk about, which Accounting Web covered last week actually as well. Had a really good chat with Tom Herbert about that. So yeah, that was an interesting article to read the comments in as well.
100%. Yeah, definitely go over and read it. Linda says it'll be an easy way for the software companies to be outstanding. I don't understand why they wouldn't just go for it too. They'll just get such a great loyal following if they just did it. Yeah, and these are the pain points where in the payroll world where we're struggling at the moment to find someone that's like the gold standard and this seems to be compromised at every software you choose at the moment. Like there doesn't seem to be something that everyone can unifiedly go, wow. In fact, Sage County Council was a great example of that. There's a really cool feature where they put your profile basically of every county council member on an easel dotted around the office. So the idea was you can kind of go around and see what people's tech stack was and all that sort of stuff, right? Cracking idea. But payroll was different on every single one. Like, and we know that, right? Like tech stack wise, when you come to payroll, there's always a bit of an asterisk next to it, isn't it? And I think if we can nail this whole benefit in kind element and making that bit, I think that's a really good way to be able to win the hearts and minds of accountants and get them on board with your software. Okay, cool. Let's move on from that one then. Unless you got anything else, Sean?
Nope.
Cool. Let's go back to OneGov issues. So we were talking the other day, weren't we, about how having this whole idea of being mandated to not just using a shared OneGov and having been forced to use those individual ones. Again, we like the idea, the end goal of like, let's make it secure, blah, blah, blah. But the practicality of it is causing issues, right? Well, here's one that came and drew its ugly head with us. So we had a member of team, one of our admin members of team, who's now moved on. Yeah, admin team's quite a fluent position, right? And you know, you can have those people moving on, going forward, absolutely fine. And you know, good luck to them. They're going to some really good opportunities and everything else. The problem is they started a DSO1 or a couple of DSO1s with our clients way back when. So they use their OneGov login to log in and to start the process. You see where this story's going, right? Now they've left, we have no way of going back. And if you log in as someone else to that DSO1, it tells you need to go back in as the person who started the application. Now, typically a DSO1 takes what? 6 months, 3 months between then? Like there's 9 months in some cases, right? So in a firm now, how are we supposed to deal with that? Because unless you put into a contract, you are not allowed to leave until all DSO1s are completed, for example. Like what's our workflow for this one then? You know what I mean? Like how are we supposed to sort this one out? So yeah, we kind of looked at ourselves a little bit flabbergasted when we saw that. That was a bit of an eye opener of what. And in the end, we had to force our way into their account to get access to be able to push that DSO1. Otherwise, generally, we would never be able to push our DSO1. So we've now kind of gone against everything that they're trying to do here, just from a practical point of view of actually setting up or finishing off a DSO1. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, it just shows, doesn't it, the high level thinking from people that have never run a business or never run a practice, not thinking these things through. So like one of the things we're very proud of in Engager is we don't develop anything without it going into testing in mine and Andy's firms first.
Yeah.
Because you get these great ideas, then you try using it in practice and go, actually, we've got this problem. This doesn't feel like the right flow. This doesn't feel natural and organic. We need to make these changes and then release it. But that's because we've got people that can do those tests. HMRC are like, right, we're going to put two-factor authentication on. Great. But how do we assign clients to our team members efficiently? So going into each one manually. How do we reassign clients and open processes like DSO1s when a team member leaves? Like, how do we deal with these real life scenarios and situations? There's been no thought put into it for that.
No. And like a DSO1 process is already complicated enough. Like our checklists and all that sort of stuff is obscene for it, right? Because we have to get these absolute spot on and going through. Now we've got to go back X amount of steps and we've got to decide which Gov1 are we going to use for this, right? And we're going to have to, going forward, have some sort of easy accessible one that everyone can have access to, which again goes back to, we fully believe in what the end goal was going to be, but as a firm, we're going to have to work around it anyway because their systems are inadequate for us to deal with it. And it's like, back to your point, where was the testing? Where was this? And you know,
where was the consultation with real life users?
Yeah.
We don't all sit at the same desk for 25 years and then retire at Companies House.
Exactly.
That is not how the real world works.
Or is it going forward that only the principal of the firm can do it because they should be around? Because, you know, you'd expect them to be around for a lot longer.
But then you do an acquisition, they exit the firm, then what do we do?
Exactly. Like, and what we've got loads of time in our back pocket, right? Just to put to administrating DSO1s going forward, or whatever the issue is going to be, right? And this is the frustrating bit, right? Like we're asked to find all these workarounds, and I feel like in our industry we've got so many clever people who have got so many great ideas, but we've been forced into workarounds all the time instead of having a nice efficient solution from A to B, right? It's like we'll go to A, then we'll try and get to B, but to get to B we're gonna have to go around to the D, to get to the C, to get to the B. Like that's where these things become so inefficient that our only other option is charge more or take a lesser hit or whatever our thing's going to be, right? Like, one consultation, one beta phase, one something like some form of feedback would have saved X amount, wouldn't it, of time, of resources, of cost, of everything else that goes with it, and it just winds you up, doesn't it, when you kind of get that? Yeah. Awesome. Paul says, talking of payroll software, you should jump into some of the Fresh Pay Live Zooms. Okay. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to discuss their plans. Yeah.
But that's the problem. Everyone's happy to discuss their plans. No one's actually delivering yet. And I'm fed up of signing up to softwares based on plans that potentially don't come to fruition. Like you've just said at the start of the show, Aaron, you're not going to buy the Insta Luna camera, even though you know it's better in every way, because there's a software feature that you need and you're not prepared to buy it and then have to wait a year for it. You'll carry on as you are until that feature's released. Yeah. Like we've all been duped into buying softwares in the past for plans.
Yeah.
And like we've had a very strict policy at Engager for the last 3+ years of no, I can talk to you about our plans, but what you need to decide on is based on what we have here today.
Yeah. And
because all it takes is a change from HMRC's compliance, or so I've just had a news bulletin. So Keir Starmer is about to stand up and probably do a resignation speech. All it takes is that in a new leadership contest, which is now probably going to happen, with a new chancellor, because I doubt anyone's going to keep Rachel Reeves on. New chancellor starts putting out emergency changes, and we'll probably have a new budget in September for the new leadership. That means all that work we've been doing since April to get ready for 2027's tax returns and stuff like that, and payrolls and stuff like that, could all have to be scrapped and started again. So all of those plans that I've just signed up for suddenly get postponed and delayed.
Yeah.
So those plans are outside of our control. So we need to be buying based on what's there today, not what they're planning for.
Yeah.
And that's the same with, that's not just on FreshPay, that is the same with all softwares.
And the annoying thing for the developers at the moment must be that you are getting people like creating their own solutions because of the opportunities we have. Like that vibe coding I did on the train. That wasn't just me like creating just a little app for this is fundamentally going to change the way that our practice now delivers work, because I've created a work papers where it interacts with pretty much any piece of software we have. It gives everyone a prescribed checklist and solutions that they need to do. You have to upload the balance sheet to there and have to go down every one and put a tick against it and put links and everything else. And then it will only let you pass that on to the reviewer when it's a good state, right? And if it's not, if the bits aren't ready to go, you physically cannot push it to the reviewer, right? Because I was getting to a point where I was like, look, I'm having to push these back because they're not ready to be reviewed yet, right? They're coming to me, I'm not, or to the reviewer and everything else. I built that myself using, the tools of the trade and everything else to do that. And that could easily have been a piece of software that I would happily have paid X, Y, Z to have for me. But I'm out of that requirement now. And I think that's the danger that software companies are going to get, is that, and I'm well oversimplifying this, but we're kind of in a position where if we need a particular feature, there is an opportunity now for us to go craft something ourselves for our own individual use case and that fits perfectly into our firm, right? So if
just as a public service announcement though, guys, please be aware of the security risks
100%,
of doing that. Like Aaron knows what he's doing with databases and managing databases and stuff like that and the security. I don't vibe code because I don't understand and I'm not sure how best to host and protect that data. So for us in my firm, it's a risk. So that's why we don't do vibe coding in my firm. So please don't go out there just doing something because Aaron's done it. You need to understand the background of Aaron's knowledge, skill, and experience. If you've not got that, be careful. And
that's where the Sage Can Council came invaluable, right? Because that's one of the bits we talked about went through. That's one of the bits that held me back from doing it. But that aside, we're getting to a point where, we could almost build a parallel solution next to whatever solution we're using, and going forward, that's going to be how we make efficiencies in practice. And what that means is that we're going to have software like this and requests like this, and we could go on live Zooms and all that sort of stuff. But you're kind of thinking to yourself, but unless they really ramp up that feature list and everything else, they're going to lose out, aren't they? Because people are going to be looking at other options. The agent account should be firm-led, not person-led. Yes, it needs a prime user, but that should easy to be changed internally. But this is the problem, isn't it? Because they get agent accounts now have to be a person. You can't have, the age-old your account's at so-and-so. You can't have that anymore, right? Because of two-factor authentication that comes with it. How do I log a payroll request feature and engage it for a payroll app?
It's on the list. No, it genuinely is something we've always discussed in the past. We've just got too much work to do on practice management, pricing, etc., for us to look at payroll at this time.
Definitely. Cheryl says the consultation will be hidden somewhere, not announced, so they can consult, but no one replied to the consultation.
Yeah, it is a full-time job, scouring HMRC's and the government's website for consultations and to find ones that you feel you need to put your opinions in. Yeah, that's a full-time job in itself.
But then this is where HMRC is actually doing really well, because they've got that face now, haven't they? For us accountants, right? We know that if there is kind of there's groups, it's Companies House that are behind. And DSO1 again sits in that company house world, right? Like that's where it is. And there's a common denominator every time we come across this, and it is company's house. They just need to learn off HMRC. Like, they're not perfect in any possible way. Of course, there's major, things that could be done differently and changed and everything else, but at least they're traveling in the right direction in HMRC world. For all credit to the likes of Craig and everyone else. But we're still company's house. We don't have that opportunity to do that, right? And Paul Weiss, to be fair, the responses from FreshPay has been very much like Engager. They listen to their users and have one of the best support networks I've experienced with a software provider. Awesome. Are they cloud-based, or I thought they were...
They're cloud-based, yeah.
Cool.
Web-based.
Cool. Maybe we need to start looking at FreshPay. Maybe we need to start looking there. Awesome. Cool. Let's quickly finish off on Fusion. Great event. Love that one. Again, the Power Live was my personal highlight from the event itself. But it is nice that people are in that area. There's a local community there that kind of have the opportunity to talk. I spent most of my time talking to other users and kind of like talking to them and everything else. But how was it from your end?
Oh, it was a really good event from Engagers and Tax Scouts' point of view. I mean, the energy in the room was fantastic. I really enjoyed the lunchtime demo I got to do of the deep dive and just putting it out to the room, going, right, guys. Basically, I treated it like one of my weekly lives of, right, guys, let's come up with 3 or 4 top areas you want to talk about as a group in this room, and we'll deep dive into those. Yeah. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good day. Really nice group of people, very forward-looking, very tech-embracing people. So yeah, it was a very pleasant day for everybody involved.
That was good. The venue was lovely, wasn't it? The that kind of open space and everything else. No, yeah. It was good. It kind of invited you to have little chats and have little talks, and yeah, that's what you need, right? Like
Ash and Andy and the team are doing an absolutely fantastic job at finding decent locations for these things and making sure it's not just a room in a hotel somewhere. It's actually a really good space that's in line with the branding and facilitates everything we wanted to facilitate, like the conversations, the networking, etc. So yeah,
love that. Most consultations will get some traction with an audience. The taxi changes, for example, is followed closely by drivers, but as accountants, we need to be much broader knowledge of them for the clients. Yeah, but I do think that's where your accounting for big groups and people like that are absolutely nailing that sort of stuff, right? Like that is your community-led approach where you can get sort of stuff like that. So I feel like it's hard to find those pockets, but there are pockets doing the work for us, which is great to see. Speaking of which, have a great weekend, everyone. I'm off a week. I'm in weekend mode already. Have a great weekend. I'm off to watch another PM Design. It's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good at all. All right, that's it. Another exciting episode of Ask the Accountant. Jan, what you got planned for this week? Anything exciting for us all?
I am in Stratford-upon-Avon, Shakespeare country for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Doing some speaking and stuff again. But yeah, lots of meetings, lots of phone calls. I'm going from here to go to a client meeting and stuff. Get to play with the new camera for the next few days as well.
Yeah. Good luck with it. Enjoy it.
My week, how about yourself?
All in Leeds, which I'm looking forward to having a bit of consistency and sitting here and making some changes and adjustments and everything else that comes with it. So it's all positive, all good stuff coming our way. And next week is nothing. No, I'm just trying to think if it's a week after, isn't it? Where we've got some potential changes to that at that point. Cool, everyone. Right. Well, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for commenting, everyone, and who's coming in. It's good to see. And we'll see you all same place, same time for the next one. Cheers, everyone.
See you all next week.
Bye.